Isn't it ironic that a good portion of Chamber of Secrets has Harry and Ron hanging out in the girls' bathroom? Yes. Apparently, J.K. Rowling didn't take the lessons from her own books. Yes. Hi there, I'm Roux. Welcome to my video where I talk about anything I want. Inspired by D'Angelo, I am. Yes. And this is a follow-up of my last Real Talk video where I talked about J.K. Rowling's problematic, transphobic views. I am so grateful for all y'all for joining in the discussion and commenting on my video. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. I just want to point out that even if I disagree with any of the comments, I'm not trying to be a bully, and be nice to each other in the comments, okay? I thought it was really interesting. Phoenix Waddell commented, "I'm surprised she didn't learn from her mistakes from last year when she sided with the teacher. I guess she ran out of characters to change from her book, like she did with Ron." What do you mean change? Now I'm so confused. What do you mean change? What did you do to Ron? What they're talking about, though, about last year, is when J.K. Rowling sided with Maya Forstater, a teacher who was fired for being transphobic against one of her colleagues. J.K. Rowling stated, "Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who'll have you, live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real? Hashtag I stand with Maya. Hashtag this is not a drill." You'd think that this person had been incredibly sexist to this Maya person and forced a woman out of her job for no good reason. Except that's not what happened. This Maya Forstater person was upset because they were fired for being transphobic, and what did they do? They literally refused to call the transgendered person by their preferred pronoun and kept calling them by their past pronoun and I guess by their past name or something. Incredibly offensive. She says, "I don't think people should be compelled to play along with literal delusions like trans women are women," she wrote in a private message to a coworker that was cited in the evidence in the case. So you can imagine how she treated her coworker then, right? And this is the person J.K. Rowling is standing with. It's not just her being "Oh, I'm a little bit unsure if people should be getting into the bathrooms because people could be predators." No. She's just downright transphobic, J.K. Rowling is, for siding with this woman. And I find it so disgusting that she would play the "I'm a woman, you can't fire me for being a woman." Honey, you weren't fired for being a woman. No one is being gender discriminatory against you at all. You're literally a hateful sack of shit. That's why we were fired. What the fuck? Makes me so angry, because then when someone plays the "oh, you're discriminating against me because I'm a woman" card when it's not the case, it literally belittles and minimizes the actual cases of people being discriminated against for being women and people being treated unfairly. Oh, it makes me so angry. Canuck is Chilling says, "Her type of thinking is dangerous since she has a bigger platform and someone could take that into consideration and do some serious harm. It really sucks since you think that with her stories she would be aware." I'd also like to add that some people think that they're pushing their beliefs into us, when in reality, trans people just want to live and be equal, no more, no less. Yes, it's the same thing with the women's movement, where men were like, "Oh, you want more because you want to have the right to vote." No, they just want to have equality. And it goes back to that quote I mentioned in my last video, where if you've had a privilege for a long time, someone coming and saying, "Actually, I want the same privilege, I want it to be equal," all of a sudden that might feel like you're being deprived of something, when in reality, you're not. You're just sharing the same privilege. It's equal, yeah. Someone named Robert Messer commented, "Upper leg, lol. I think you mixed idioms, upper hand and leg up. Just had to tease you a bit on that." That's true. Now, I am not bothered by a true trans woman using the ladies' room. I am slightly nervous about male predators pretending to be trans women to get into the ladies' room. I understand that new things can be scary, it's the unknown, but I want to touch on the notion of a true trans woman, because that implies that you're not a true trans woman if you haven't gone through all of the surgeries and everything like that. And that's not okay. No. And I also want to touch on the fact that women can be predators too. So it's like a false sense of security that we as a society have lulled ourselves into when we think that the same gender as you is safe. It's just not true. Like, a cisgendered woman could be just as much of a predator as a transgendered woman who hasn't gone through surgery. I mean, and a transgendered woman who has gone through surgery doesn't make her less of, like, a possible danger. Like, all people are a danger. It's not based on whether or not you have certain sets of genitalia. And you should be cautious of everyone. You shouldn't be cautious based on whether or not someone was born a certain way and then changed. You should be cautious of everyone. I think a lot of people can agree with me that they've seen some weird shit in locker rooms. Let's be fair. I think people people allow themselves to do all kinds of strange shit in locker rooms, like, because, oh, we're all girls in here, so it's okay. And I think if you're a female predator, you're gonna play on that and be like, oh, but it's all okay. We all have the same bits. Nothing weird about this. So you should be cautious of everyone. I personally don't like people at all. I love those t-shirts that said, ooh, it's too peoply outside. That's how I feel. I much prefer cats. So you should be afraid of all people, okay? Equally, no matter what. Trans people do not pose a greater risk. And you know what? They should be able to go to the bathroom that they feel comfortable in. They're not posing a danger to you. It's just as likely that there is a cisgendered woman already in the bathroom who might be a predator and who might be up to no good, so, I mean, yeah. Let's look at the opposite side, though, as in the comments that I disagree with. There were a bunch of comments that I vehemently disagree with, one of them being from Paula. She's not transphobic, she just values science. Sorry. Her point is that biological men are different from trans men, and same for biological women and trans women. That's literally it, and that's a fact. That's not a fact. The fact is she wants to exclude people from bathrooms. Like, are you suggesting that we have transgendered bathrooms? So 4 types of bathrooms: cisgendered men, cisgendered women, and trans men? Like, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be. How can you not see that? I saw a different comment too that was like, you can't change from a man to a woman or a woman to a man. That's just impossible. Men and women are different. I can't find it. Maybe they retracted it. I don't know. Fun fact, according to science, we all start out female in the womb. All our bits are made from the same material, and just somewhere along the line, half of the population start turning into a man instead. So they go from the same female thing and take the materials that made the girly bits and transform them into a pee-pee. And that's how science can fuck up sometimes. They also said that science can't fuck up. That's just impossible. A lot of people are born with female genitalia, but then male internal genitalia. Some people are born with both type of genitals. Sometimes nature fucks up. That's just a fact. So you can't see how you can have a female brain even though your body decided to make a penis. Maybe your brain stayed female. Know what I mean? How is that so hard to understand? Or the other way around. How is that so hard to understand? I hope you found the discussion interesting. I thank you so much to everyone who commented, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I posted on my community tab about what you guys want me to talk about in my Real Talk videos, so if you have any suggestions, do comment on that, or below in this video if you have anything that you'd like me to talk about, okay? And I really appreciate everyone who responded. Great suggestions. Do tune in to my Real Talk videos on weekdays, Reddit videos on Fridays, and soon true crime videos on Wednesdays. Try my darndest to make this my full-time job. Please support me in doing that, and subscribe and like the video and comment and all that jazz. You're awesome. Okay, love you, bye.